Welcome to the Science Cooking Show. The show where we teach you about scientific principles in a tasty, easily digestible, fashion. Today's topic is, drumroll please, thank you, genetic inheritance. Genetics is a key aspect to the study of biology, involving the scientific study of genes, traits, heredity, and variation in living organisms. Today we'll focus on heredity, the study of how traits and characteristics are passed from one generation to the next. For our model organism today, we'll be whipping up some cute cookies to explain differences in patterns of inheritance. But first of all, what are genes? Genes are the instructions for the building, maintaining, and functioning of living organisms. They serve as the basic unit of heredity, passing on traits from one generation to the next. Imagine each gene is like a recipe for a specific trait, such as the texture or flavor of a cookie. Each gene carries the instructions for a particular characteristic or trait. The genotype is the recipe of a cookie, while the phenotype is the observable expression of a genotype. What each cookie physically looks like. Each of our cookies has 2 copies of each gene, making it a diploid organism. One gene copy inherited from each parent. Alleles are variant forms of the same gene, with small differences in their sequence that leads to a different trait being expressed. Having different alleles is similar to how different options for ingredients in a cooking recipe. For example, like how this cookie has milk chocolate inclusions, while this cookie has white chocolate inclusions. These small differences contribute to each cookie's unique physical features, despite them all still being cookies. Genetic variation is crucial for the health and adaptivity of a population within a species. Patterns of inheritance describe how traits are passed from one generation to the next. And there are several well-known patterns of inheritance, each governed by a specific principle of genetics. Mendelian inheritance refers to patterns of inheritance or traits that follow Mendel's laws. First is the law of segregation, which states that each individual has 2 alleles for each gene, one inherited from each parent. These alleles segregate during the formation of gametes, and only one allele from each parent is passed on to each offspring. Second is the law of independent assortment, which states that genes located on different chromosomes assort independently from each other during the formation of gametes. This means that the inheritance of one gene does not influence the inheritance of a number. Last is the law of dominance, which states that in a heterozygous individual having 2 different alleles for a gene, one allele, the dominant allele, will determine the phenotype, while the other allele, the recessive allele, has no noticeable effect on this phenotype. Let's demonstrate this. Here we have 2 cookies that are homozygous for their dough color. We have a vanilla dough cookie and a chocolate dough cookie. If we're told vanilla is the dominant trait, what do we expect the offspring of this cross to look like? Let's set up a Punnett square to find out. We expect all of the offspring to be vanilla dough cookies, and they are. What if we wanted to predict the offspring of a cross of 2 different traits, which again we expect to follow the law of independent assortment? Here we have a vanilla dough chocolate chip cookie and a chocolate dough peppermint cookie, both of which we are told are heterozygous for both dough flavor and inclusion type. This is our Punnett square, and these are the offspring. You can see the result is a 9:3 to 3:1 phenotypic ratio of vanilla dough peppermint pieces to vanilla dough chocolate chip pieces to chocolate dough peppermint pieces to chocolate dough chocolate pieces. Based on this information, which alleles are the dominant ones for each trait? That's right, vanilla dough is dominant to chocolate dough, and peppermint pieces are dominant to chocolate chip. Now let's get a little more complicated. Non-Mendelian inheritance refers to patterns of inheritance for traits that do not follow Mendel's law. Examples of these pattern inheritance are codominant inheritance, where both alleles of a gene are expressed in a phenotype, resulting in a combined expression of both alleles. If we cross a peppermint pieces cookie with a milk chocolate chip cookie and got offspring with both peppermint pieces and milk chocolate chips, that would be an example of codominant inheritance. Another example is incomplete dominance, where neither allele is completely dominant over the other, resulting in intermediate phenotype in heterozygous individuals. If we crossed a peppermint pieces cookie with a milk chocolate chip cookie and got offspring with peppermint chocolate chips, that would be an example of incomplete dominant inheritance. Whew, that was a whole lot of cookies. Hope everyone had fun today and see y'all next week. Thanks for watching!